In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make music that sounds like magical snow. For the past couple of months, I've been working on music and sound design for a play called The Trials. When this video comes out on Friday, there will still be a few chances left to see The Trials, so go see it if you can. One of the scenes in the show required me to write music that sounded like snow, so I'm going to show you the things that I did to make that happen. I just realized that my recording device has not been recording this whole time, so I guess it's just camera audio for this one. In the first section, I used arpeggios on the piano. These arpeggios are played in the high register of the piano. Smaller objects make higher pitched sounds. That's just how physics works. And little flecks of snow are definitely very small things, so high pitched sounds are definitely associated with snow, which is why these arpeggios are being played in the high register. I'm also playing downwards leading arpeggios to simulate the sound of snow falling. But this track isn't meant to be sad and cold and dreary, it's meant to be happy and optimistic. So to create an uplifting, optimistic feeling in these arpeggios, each bar, the last note of the arpeggio pattern, raises up. In the first bar it's E, then F, then G, and then G sharp, before repeating. Shortly after those piano arpeggios start the track, I bring in my next trick, which is wind chimes. Wind chimes add a high, sparkly feeling, so they definitely contribute to that high-pitched, small object sound that the high piano arpeggios are getting at. But because they're so sparkly, they kind of imitate the light reflecting off of the snow. In this section, I also add some mellow brass chords, which support the chords that are being played and implied by the piano arpeggios. Brass instruments sound really warm, so they evoke the feeling of being warm and indoors and comfortable during a snowstorm. As I said before, we don't want the snow to feel bone-chilling and uncomfortable, but magical and mystical, so the brass definitely helps with that feeling. The warmth of the brass instruments balances the high pitches of the piano and the wind chimes. In the next section, the melody comes in. That melody is upwards leading, and it's played by woodwinds, primarily flute. The upwards leading nature of the melody adds to the magical feeling and contrasts with the downwards leading arpeggios in the piano. The reason that melody is being played on woodwinds, and especially flute, is because they sound like the wind blowing through the snow. You can see in each of these additional elements that I've added to the track, I'm not just thinking about the notes or even the melody, but I'm also thinking about the texture of each instrument that I add. The texture of high-pitched piano, wind chimes, warm brass, and airy woodwinds all come together to create the feeling of snow. In the final section, the texture thins out a little bit, and some swelling strings join in on the melody. Bowed strings are pretty much musical scoring shorthand for strong emotions, so having them play the melody here just enhances the magical, optimistic feelings that I've already been constructing up to this point in the track. In the second half of this section, the brass returns, harmonizing the melody to make it feel even stronger, and again contributing that warmth and homeliness that is associated with the sound of that section. But I didn't want it to feel too warm. It is snow, after all. So I added the quickest and easiest musical shorthand for snow that there is, and that is, of course, sleigh bells. Basically, all of the other tips in this video are pointless because adding sleigh bells to pretty much anything will make it sound like snow. But all the other things I've mentioned in this video definitely help. And they pull the feeling towards snow rather than just Christmas time, which is also strongly associated with sleigh bells. This scene wasn't meant to feel like Christmas, it was more meant to feel like a magical snowstorm. So sleigh bells definitely help, but having other snow elements to balance that and to not overly rely on those sleigh bells was critical. So now that I've explained all the individual elements and how they come together to make the track feel like a magical snowstorm, let's take a listen to it and hear if I pulled it off. What did you think? Did it sound like snow? Do you have any musical tips that you use when you're trying to emulate the sound of snow, or maybe emulate the sound of something else? If so, leave them in the comments below. If you like this track, you might like some of the other music I wrote for the trials, and you might like the play itself. So if you're in Canberra, go see it this weekend before the season ends. And if you like the video, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos about music theory, music composition, and how I make music. I have a new song and music video releasing next week, so definitely subscribe. You'll see that as soon as it comes out. On the screen now I have a couple of other videos where I talk about how I made some of the music that I've written, so if this video interested you, definitely check out some of these, and I'll see you in the next one.